Yes. There's already speculation that you are on fire, Ben.
I'm always on fire. I'm lit.
Boop.
Are you not lit, Pedro?
It's not 420. We're live.
Listen, man, I'm so lit I beat Fortnite. Hey, pro tip from Old Man Venn, if you want to make some teenagers cringe, tell them you beat Fortnite. It's awesome.
They'll just go, you won at Fortnite. No, I beat
No, I
Fortnite.
beat the game, man. I got the high score.
Hey,
beautiful people, what's going on? We're getting ready for another Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays show about open source, Linux, and penguins, and basically anything else that we found terribly interesting since last week.
Yes.
Hello, S. Michelle. Hello, Barbrandt. Hello, Massavoni. Hello, Linux Ginneroo.
Apparently Macedonia is
Zoe.
too busy watching Clarkson, May, and Hammond to
Oh,
pay attention
yeah.
to us.
Watching old ones, then.
Yeah. What is the third series coming out?
Jeez. This is a very valid question that I do not know the answer to.
No.
Hello, Arthur. It's paused it. How dare you? How dare you interrupt the grand tour?
Apparently, they're the ticket applications for the studio bits are now open.
Are you gonna try to go to one?
I mean, they do them here now for the most part, so I might.
I think they did one or two last series.
Wasn't it all of them? The studio bits.
Careful, Pedro. This is gonna turn into Linux Carcast. We're tap dancing around it.
Hello, Arthurian.
I really want a car. Just taking the buses. No, I hate buses.
Yeah, taking public transport is not fun.
It would be not so bad if they didn't stink.
Yeah, yeah. Mine don't stink, but if I go outside of our cities, yeah, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, they have a very distinctive smell here, and everyone goes, yeah, they do.
that's- yeah. Hi, Jelly Bean. Oh, and my mug today is the Doctor Who one again. I know Ven has this mug
You
as
stole
well.
it. Quit lying to the people. You've broken in my house and you've taken one of my possessions.
Dun, 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 dun,
I know,
dun,
man.
dun, dun.
I gotta put that thing up and because you will sit there like just a doofus watching it spin around. It doesn't get old either. They're good cups. They say they're not microwave safe, but I'm calling their bluff. And I've been calling that bluff for like 2
yeah.
years.
I never put my collectible mugs in there in the microwave.
See, that's my problem, Jill. I'm not good at collecting things.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess this one counts as a collectible. Nori gave me this one like, what,
Yeah.
4 years ago? So, there it is. Were you watching anime?
Yes, the classic British anime series, Doctor Who, Pedro.
Yeah, no, the initial chords did not strike a chord with me.
Yeah. That's actually fan-made. Thought it was kind of neat.
Mm. Yeah, it's really nice. A nice piece.
All right, back to country music. Right, that's center block. Let's take that.
Okay.
Wait, should that be there? Let's find out.
There's only I really like when they have to use the busway buses as just the regular city buses, because those don't have those really absorbent carpeted seats. They have that full they have those false leather ones, and yeah, those don't smell. Go figure.
Hey, Jill.
Yeah.
Is that a side address microphone?
I'm beginning to think it is, yes.
Hold it up to the camera. That looks like a front address mic.
It's, okay, it's gonna make a noise if I move it.
I got you muted. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a front mic.
That's a front-loaded Carterwood. You need to turn that thing facing your face.
Okay.
Scooch the filter away from it.
No.
Yeah.
Here, I'll keep you muted, Jill, so you don't have to worry about it.
Just go full on Strider. Just wrestle with that microphone until it just lays down in submission.
No, that's what I miss about Strider, because we would hear the food, and I knew to cut to him because wait. So yeah, Strider, if you're listening, buddy, we miss you attacking your microphone at the beginning of every call.
And the speculation as to whether or not he'd woken up in time. He'd woken up in time.
That was always fun. I mean, we genuinely never knew week to week whether or not it was going to be a 2 or 3 person show.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I had to smack my mixer, if anybody. I had to smack my mix up.
That's fine.
It's a completely valid way to deal with decade-old technology. Hit it.
Yeah, so interesting. I had... Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. I had this... Yeah.
Now it's actually picking up your voice.
Yeah.
Instead of the side of your room.
Yeah. Picking up whatever's going through that wall right there that was creating the background noise. Yeah.
That's what's going on. Okay.
Look at this. Old Man Venn solving problems.
Yeah. This mic, it's a super cardioid mic. That's what's going on. Okay.
So you can bring yourself down to the usual 80.
You can just stay where you're at. I can tune you.
Okay.
That's actual volume to work with instead of the talking across the diaphragm.
Okay. So now I got to bring it down for Audacity because I'm overmodulating here. So let me get it back to 12 dB again. And there we are.
All right.
So I guess that was the problem. My other mic is the exact opposite. Okay. Is that better, Ben?
Good.
And that, yeah.
See, I was just racking my brain, and I was counting penguins in the background, and I said, wait a minute.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah, because the other thing is in Audacity, I wasn't coming in near as loud as I was for you. So I wasn't seeing the clipping. And then, but now I can see it. So, and I've readjusted it.
Yeah, no, you were doing a very good impersonation of Sebastian Peak just there. Except he had one of these.
Oh, okay.
And he was talking to the top. And Venn was in the chat while they were recording. It's like,
No, I finally just sent Josh a DM, and I was like, hey, keep your buddy away from claymores. But, I mean, yeah. I'm not going to say it's an easy thing to do, but I understand it. I mean, like on the AT2020 series, it's in small print, but there's one side that says back.
and
But
the
you
other
also
one
see,
has an LED staring right at you.
This is true. Now, that's how you can tell if it's a USB model, if you have that bright blue LED. That's easy to fix. And I've had people argue with me. They're like, no, I got it right. And I just have to type out. Not type out, tap out. It's like, I can't help you.
If you look at the microphone, you can actually see the cardioid. Just what?
Going right into the top of it. Like, oh.
Yeah. On my other mic I can, but this one I can't. It's a metal black mesh over it, and you can't really see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my other mic I can. So.
Most any rounded out like that, they're almost hypercorduroid.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, so that's okay.
That's one of the things I told Atomic. He was like, do they make one that doesn't pick up anything? I was like, okay. Have you ever watched like a singing show where they genuinely have the microphone pressed to their lips? That's a super hypercorduroid mic. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
You got to make sexy time with it.
Yeah, and I don't like dynamic mics. I think at least this one is not that great, but I like my other one because it's a condenser.
This one sounds really good. Well,
does it sound good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking
If that
into
solved the
it.
problem, yeah. Okay.
We're just going to play around for a little bit. I still got to dial in a couple of things on the trims, but yeah.
Okay, good.
I've scared the
very
bejesus
good.
out of myself again this morning, Pedro.
Why?
I walked in there, I was like, up, got down my jog, took my shower, and went to cut everything on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have room for this stupid thing, as I told you last night, because I didn't plan on doing it.
Yes.
So it's just like shoved in the only free spot I have, which is in front of the 27-inch monitor. Which I reached down because it's on top of where the render box is. So
yeah.
I reached down and I cut everything on. Motorized faders jump, right? Because my face is right in front of it as I lean down. Did I ever squee?
Oh, we're doing this song and dance. Hold on.
Just like maybe a finger digit from the faders, and they go. My brain was not ready for that. Fortunately, I didn't jump or do anything. I think, but yeah, that was a little spooky.
Is that very quick lean back on the chair? It's like,
No, I wasn't sitting down. I was standing. I'd walked in here to cut everything on to power it up. I was standing, leaning down with my face right in front of that. When it cuts on, it does its calibration. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh. Anyway, we got one of those things now. I'll just go ahead and say I wouldn't have bought it from any place other than Guitar Center, simply because if that was on Craigslist for what I paid for it, I would assume it was stolen, 100%.
Oh, yeah, I remember you said this was like a third the price or something like that.
These things used go for like $280
Yeah.
on Amazon. That's what's shipping. If you buy them at Guitar Center, they're about $240, $250. I got this at Guitar Center from a Guitar Center in Alabama for $140 with a box with all the cables, brand new.
yeah.
In
Awesome.
great condition.
That's amazing.
And I figured out what happened. I had to brain on it. And I was like, well, this thing's stolen. Am I going to get a phone call? And I was like, you know what? Do you know what 140 is really close to, Pedro?
240, and someone typoed it.
Yep. I was the one that found the typo, and it was... I didn't ask. I walked in. I said, please no one talk to me. Please no one talk to me. He's like, all right, Mr. Stone, hey. And I was like, hey. He's like, did you order something? I was like, yeah. He went and got it. I was like, bye. Because normally I'm like, I'm going to open the box, make sure everything's in one piece. I didn't end up with bricks like Jordan did, right?
Yeah.
Instead of an AC unit, just some bricks and some...
Right.
What was it? Like...
There's just bricks.
Wasn't there something else like...
There might have been some wood
covers,
in there
bed covers, or whatnot?
Might have been. I didn't open the box. I took it. I signed my digits, and I walked out of there and got home. It's like... So I didn't want the dude looking at it if I took it out of the box. I'm glad I didn't, because it was in a brand new box, too. I'm like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoe, Solus is treating me alright. I too am on the ancient GPU drivers. I've done my dues and requested the 396 to be the stable versions. And they can keep the broken 410 beta, because that's just broken.
What's up, drugs? Starting to get things dialed in.
Traggy. Traggy.
Yeah. The 396 fix a bunch of stuff with Vulkan. So I too am hoping for that. It's just better performance all around.
What am I on? Yeah, I've been on 396.54.05, which is the hyper beta.
I was on 396 when that was the beta for Solus. But yeah, no, 410 came out and they were like, oh yeah, that supports the 2080, so we'll update the beta branch. Oh, so now I have the choice between broken or 390 old. Okay.
Welcome to Linux. Linux just works, man.
It could work if, you know, package maintainers weren't so obstinate. Is the word I'm looking for here?
Listen, you know as well as I do, don't demand anything. What you gotta do is like, hey, Ike, I bet you can't get X to work.
Yeah, Ike is taking a break from Solus development, so I can't bug Ike directly. I have to go to everyone else that, you know, not as familiar with.
Why don't you just build it, man?
Yeah, you can. It's just, there's no DKMS in Solus. So whenever there's a kernel upgrade, that goes the way of the dodo.
So you got to spend 2 seconds going into that one directory and typing in run, start out, run. Oh, yeah.
It's annoying.
That's holding you back. Jill, you were brave. I do not drink out of that cup like that. I drink out of that cup from the side.
Ah. Yeah, I never had a problem with it.
Oh,
Just
hang
very
on.
careful and slow.
Jill, I'm lying to you. When somebody says, how do you drink it? I will drink out of the side, front like that just to piss them off. I'm like, not bad. All right. Yeah, you did, Linux Nero. You get a bite-sized Snickers, buddy. Okay. We're looking good. That's set up. Yeah, Truck Shadow Warrior 2 was free on GOG last week? Yeah, it was last week.
Last weekend?
Ish, like Friday or Saturday? Yeah, it was Friday, I think. Jill's the master novelty mug, man. Or however that works. I don't know, I don't make rules. I just blindly enforce them.
Aw, thanks to Steve Husband, too. We have such a huge collection.
Pedro, why don't you fly over here and finish mapping all these MIDI controls?
You do realize that for me to finish doing that, I'd have to learn what the hell to do.
You would have no advantage over my current situation. We would be completely on the same playing field.
sounds like I've managed to work this teeny tiny mixer into something that's manageable, and I could just use the knobs to control like audio coming in and going out and whatnot. That's it. That is the extent of my ability.
Mixmaster Pedro.
Oh, and figuring out what the hell the switch between dry channel 1 and 2G input mix and loopback does, or what the hell the difference is.
Yeah, it's something you'll have to go to. That's Sony Speak stuff, man. That is... If you have a dry channel coming in, that's going to be... Alright. That's going to be a hot, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, I have it on input mix.
Yeah, you should have, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep threatening to send Pedro a big honking mixer. He's like, I don't know, maybe.
I said I will totally take it once I move. I have no space right here for a mixer.
I don't know. I'd give it to Jill. Jill, you got room for a 19-inch mixer?
No. I'd make room.
Steve, how are you at wall shelves?
Yeah. Actually, I could put it on a little stand next to me.
It's going to have to be bigger than little.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
You know that 17-inch laptop
I
you carry
do.
about? It's bigger than
Yes.
that.
Yeah. I actually have industrial racks for blade servers and whatnot.
It'll go in. Well, the only thing is like, you need... See, that was my first thought. I was like, oh, I got cages. But you need, that was the one thing I had to buy like a DJ rack with the top so I could mount it on the top. Because you can't really, well, I guess you could mount it front facing. That would be a weird experience.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve has been mounted my blade servers under my desk with the rails. He drilled into the desk and made nice, and I can slide them in and out to put hard drives in them. It's really awesome.
I gotta buy, man, that irritates me. For this X-Touch thing, maybe you know, Jill, or maybe you know, Pedro, maybe somebody at home knows. Is that the going rate? I found one, I put it up on our Amazon thingy. That's the one I'm planning on buying. It's like $70 for a slide-out 15-inch tray.
Yeah, that seems to be right. Yeah.
About 60 pounds over here, but yeah.
I know they make cheaper ones, but I'm talking about one that I could actually put something with some weight on it. If this was like a gadget thing, but no, this thing's got some heft.
Yeah, if you have one of those slide out, even just like the rails are like 20 pounds a pop.
Alright, I just want to make sure I wasn't getting screwed on that. I can live with it. Where it's at right now is a good place because I don't
Yeah.
know how half of that works. Okay, so I found out what a button did just then, ladies and gentlemen. I can kill the audio stream to everyone at home, but we can still hear each other.
That could be useful.
Well, I could just... Oh. I wonder if you can, like, bind. I guess you can do macros on this thing. Anyway, I got stuff to do this
Should
afternoon.
be able to.
Yeah. Well, since it has two banks, what I'm doing right now, sorry we're taking so long, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm setting up a profile for this show. So it's tuned for the three of us. Then I can hit a button and it's going to change all the controls for Saturday.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's like...
Does it have teeny tiny LED screens where the buttons are so you can have faces?
The expensive one? Yeah, the X-Touch does. Yeah, it's got scribble strips on it. It's what they're called. Yeah, programmable little LEDs that'll tell you what things are. That's too fancy for us.
Yeah, I too am playing a Ubisoft game right now, Strider. The Crew, finally. The game that came free
Oh.
with the 970. It's like, oh, look, the XVK version 81 actually works. Neat.
All right. That's cool. Cool. Let me grab a drink. You guys ready? Guys and
Yes.
girls?
Yes.
Boys and girls? All right. We'll be ready in like 2 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, The Crew was that game. It's like, okay, I'm buying this to use Linux on. I'm being given the choice between three Ubisoft games. None of them have a Linux version, nor will they ever. So, what's the one I want to play? The Crew. It'll work eventually. Eventually, it was, about 3 years and 10 months later.
Matthew.
Yeah, everyone was complaining that Assassin's Creed Odyssey was a grind unless you bought the permanent XP boosts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of them was Far Cry 4. I can't remember what the other one was. Let's see. GTX 970 free games. Crew, Far Cry, maybe it'll give the other one. Yeah, it was Assassin's Creed Unity. Yeah, The Crew, Assassin's Creed Unity, or Far Cry 4.
I'd only played the very first Assassin's Creed. I haven't played anything after that.
Yeah, I remember starting the first one. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, no.
Do I want to know?
Strider was going like, people who complain about grind are hardcore gamers. I'm a casual. And Arthur's like, you are moron, Strider, not a casual. Arthur, you gotta be careful with your spelling if you're calling someone out. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I had a pretty good moment on Twitter when somebody said, what was it? Somebody was being really snotty to another Linux user who was just like, hey man, Linux gaming, I'm kind of digging that. And he was like, oh, Linux sucks for gaming. It's horrible. It's miserable. Yeah, I'd like to see you just name a professional video editor for Linux. I was like,
Oh, yeah. People are just so clueless when it comes to that. It's just amazing.
So I politely, very politely responded. It's like, I can think of 2 offhand that are industry
Yeah.
standard. Maybe you would want to consider taking a look. Never replied. Never replied.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the truth of the matter is even years ago, Avid was running on Unix. I mean, they've made a Linux port for even Avid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been there. It was just you had to pay a lot of money for it.
Alright, so I judge by the fact that you don't have a rundown, Venn, that we're not doing that.
Yeah, I thought we'd skip it. We'll try it
Okay.
for a little bit.
Okay.
Alright, that means I can roll down.
We can
on
just
the
get
show
right into the
notes.
show. Since we're
Yes.
so late. All right. Transport buttons. Do I have them locked? Hey, I got that locked. Neat. So let's pause that. All right, buckle up. Record. And I think if I hit... I think that's working.
Okay.
Cool. Let me do a quick sample, then we'll get started. Give me a second. All right.
Neat.
Thanks, everyone, for the patience. So let's do this. And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we sit back, relax, take that midweek break. That's right. We're going to talk about everything going on in the world of FLOSS, open source, Linux, and man, we got a gang of stuff to go over this week because like yesterday and even today, I think, Pedro, you had a like, wait, what moment?
What?
See, that's how he is a lot of times, usually when tying his shoes. No, we had G+ closing down. We had Microsoft going open source with a bunch of stuff with their patents. Yeah. Kind of surprising and terrifying. But, Pedro, what's been going on with you since last week? Anything fun and exciting?
Not really. I'm basically just going through my completely rampant collection of laptops. This is the X230 right here that I have now upgraded to 16 gigs of RAM, and I'm going to just make it a workhorse. Make it do everything that I would need to do at work, but on Linux. Because I want to present a certain case to a certain someone.
It's pretty interesting. Some people have stray pets, you have laptops.
Yes.
It's cool. Jill, outside of posting like some UFO alien pictures in our Discord earlier this week,
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh, yeah. So Monday at Community Hack Night at Riot Games, I showed some people, including some of my students, what tools to use to podcast under Linux. So that was pretty cool because I've got a few students who want to start some of their own tech podcasts. And on Sunday, as Ben was saying, because Steve Husband is a SpaceX fanboy, he knew when to go outside and look at the rocket launch. And it was spectacular. It was really, really beautiful. Seeing the reflection of the light on the fuel was really, really cool. It was big, beautiful in the sky. And this is the first time we had a SpaceX launch that landed at Vandenberg. So it was clear for everyone to see. It was really cool. And a lot of people around here work at SpaceX. So there was a lot of cheering going on. So that was really cool.
That is pretty neat. It was interesting to see that in our Discord. I haven't been up to a whole lot. I'm getting ready, like pre-production, to do a video, speaking of podcasting, about how to clean your audio up, make it sound good, what does and what does not work. And apparently I'm going to be doing a guide on how to set up a X-Touch Compat, because that's a new piece of kit we picked up to make life easier. And that's going to be fun, because I'm horrible at doing those types of videos, and it takes me like 8 hours for a 5-minute video. It's hilarious. Let's get right into it. Since we're dragging a little bit, we want to get done quick today. Google Plus, Sky's Falling. This came out, like 2 days ago, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That was the announcement.
And it's Google, classic nuke it from orbit approach. I'm like, hey, there's a thing. It's dead now. Goodbye. And it's kind of sad to see. Now, this follows a data breach that had been going on for a while. Can't really call it a data breach. It was a theoretical breach that potentially could have allowed someone access to information that you'd had set up in your profile. Not really private stuff, but like, what you like, your gender, and all that fun stuff. Yeah. And guess what? I mean, would this affect anyone? Yes, because if you have a Google account, unfortunately, you have a Google Plus account. And I don't say that negatively, but Google went really stupid back in the day, made my life miserable because it added a G Plus account. Then it made, ended up with like YouTube. I have YouTube accounts for YouTube accounts. It's horrifying. Anyway, so instead of, they might have fixed it. We don't know, but What is it? What do we get until July or August of next year?
Yeah.
It
said
was
10
10 months,
months.
so yeah, August. It's 500,000 users were theoretically at risk of having their like profile data made public, even if they had it set to private, because apps were basically there was an exploit that would allow an app to get access to that, even if you weren't allowing access to said app specifically. And that was the big one, and there were people saying, oh, Google didn't disclose that one. Yeah, Microsoft doesn't disclose the bugs that it finds if it fixes them and it doesn't really affect anyone. That's kind of how the industry goes. But of course, Google, being what they are, and they do like to hold other companies up for the 90-day you either fix it or we disclose it thing. Well, they took a little bit of flack, and, well, of course, Google Plus, the one social network I didn't hate, is collateral.
Oh, well, first Google kills Google Wave, which I really loved, and now they killed Google Plus. It's so sad. I'm actually really depressed because this is really the best social network where all of us nerds and techs hung out. And what was awesome about it is the post can be long format. Very thoughtful discussions and intelligent discussions went on within the community, and the picture sharing was wonderful. And that's something that's not quite as good on Twitter.
No.
So, yeah, which is really, really sad. But it seems that G Plus will be becoming an enterprise communications tool, a lot like Microsoft's Yammer. And I've known for years that the in-house at Google, they use it as their communication platform. So that kind of makes sense. But this was just really sad.
Yeah, that's the thing. G Plus was always awesome. We're mourning it. I mean, we still got a month left, but we know it's going down. Mm-hmm. It was a great place because your friends and family were not on it, unlike Facebook, unlike Twitter.
Yes, exactly.
That was the big one. It's like, oh, look, people who actually have the same tastes that I do that I don't really know. Neat.
Yeah.
It was great. No, the 4,000 people. I'm going to miss you. But what you can do, you can blame Civic for this. Mast.linuxgamecast.com. That name again is mast.linuxgamecast.com. We have a deceased hairy elephant instance that you can join. And this is like the first time I've like really public. I said it on G+, and people in Discord know. That's the thing. We're there. We're going to try it out probably for like a week and forget we have it. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moving on.
Thank you, Civic.
Yeah, up next we have Audacity version 2.3.0. Not a major release, but a pretty good roundup of all the bug fixes and the whatnots that they've been introducing lately. They also have some new features. The punch and roll recording, pin playhead can now be repositioned by dragging, play at speed can now be adjusted while playing, so that's pretty good. It's Audacity. Venn makes religious use of Audacity.
Yes.
For the show.
Yeah, we all do here. And one of the things in this awesome things in this release is that they improved saving of projects with a save lossless copy of project option, which allows you to make a backup of the project while you're still working on it, which is really awesome. Unlike whereas before when you did save as, it would close your project, and I always found that pretty annoying. So it's really nice to have that feature.
I think it's good. It's good to see it's updated, and you can track down PPAs for nightly builds for this, or you can build it yourself. I'm sure it's already set up. What version are you at on Solus?
2.2.2.
Grandpa, come on, get with the times. It's an awesome piece of kit.
It will be updated eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's 90 bug fixes, so that's good. We use it, and it's to master our final product, and it's good work. It's open source, and I'm glad we have it. So I ran across something early last week, and I was like, wait a minute. Why was I not informed of this? And Pedro said, sir, I do protest. Why was I not informed of this?
Mm-hmm. Because, it's Albert. It's a launcher, the same way that if you hit Alt F2 in whatever distro, you get a teeny tiny little box that lets you launch applications directly from there. And this one is Very comprehensive. It has plugins that extend their functionality beyond just, launching applications. You get the calculator one, you get the Google one, you can even feed whatever it is you want to search for into Wolfram Alpha, and it'll just spit out whichever, I don't know, formula you're looking for. It's actually a really, really nice launcher. It's very customizable. It's very simple, very tiny. It's just a teeny tiny little bar that shows up in the middle of the screen. It's really good. I did not know that this one existed. I'd just been using the default Mate one, and this one is so much better.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying playing with this. You can even launch VMs with it, which is really cool. And
Yep.
Search for files in your file manager, search Wikipedia, run Google Translate, and search the internet. And one of the best features of all, you can use it to log out or shut down your computer, which is really, really awesome. And yeah, it's really a awesome utility. I wish I had known about this sooner myself.
Yeah.
It was kind of surprised. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't get a chance to build it. I saw that Wimpy had a PPA set up for it. It's like, that's for the old version. I'm not going to mess with that. And some rando had another PPA. It's like, I don't even know this person. So I might probably later this week, I'm going to build it. Have you played with it and enjoyed it, Pedro?
Yes, I have. I started building it from source because it's like, that's probably not going to be in the repos. So it's like, okay, this is a dependency, this is a dependency. I was installing dependencies, and then something caught my eye in the software center. It's like, oh, there it is, and it's the most recent version. Huh. Okay, let's just install it from the repo then.
Good idea. I look forward to playing with it. I don't know if it's going to now, from an understanding point of view, does it replace the launcher or?
No, it's completely separate. You can set it to replace by just changing the.
Okay, that's how I should rephrase it. Could you use it as a replacement for a launcher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just change the keyboard shortcut from launching the default one to Albert.
Good times. All right. There's Ubuntu news.
Yes, this is awesome. The beta of Ubuntu 18.10 Cosmic Cuttlefish has been released for testing, leading up to the final release on October 18th. So that's coming up very soon. Yay, exciting. And what's really wonderful is this one features GNOME 3.30 as the default desktop, which includes patches fixing memory garbage collection, and it uses fewer system resources. Yes, like we have been talking about for a while. So we've been waiting for that. And the one thing that I found really cool about this release is that it's supposed to have faster installs and 10% faster booting with a new compression algorithm given to us by Facebook. The compressor is called Z Standard and LZ4. And that was really cool. That shows how much Facebook has given back to the open source community. And I really love the new look and feel of this new version. And the default wallpaper featuring the cuttlefish mascot is really cute.
Yeah. I am still genuinely surprised at how Canonical themselves seem to have changed. They've lost a bit of that not built here syndrome that they had for a while. And now they're not just adopting the Facebook compression algorithm, they're also adopting the changes that Fedora made to the kernel to optimize battery life in laptops. So that is very good to see, Canonical. Very good indeed. It's a shame that you decided to go with GNOME for the default version, but hey, no one's perfect. What?
Oh. Venn is being quiet.
What?
I don't think Venn realized he was muted.
Oh. Okay. So next we're going to talk about how to speed up your Ubuntu. And this article, there's a really nice article about 5 ways to speed up Ubuntu. And one way is to reduce the boot time by altering grub configuration from 10 seconds to 2, or I actually just use 0, except on the computers that I want to multi-boot many different Linux OSs. And I've actually, been using a lot of these tricks for years, and also, getting rid of startup applications, heavy startup applications. So, but the best trick of all for me is just use a lighter desktop environment like XFCE or Flexbox. And the major one is replace spinning Rust drives with SSDs or NVMe drives. You can't go wrong with that. Increase those boot times. Makes all the difference in the world.
I don't know. I definitely got to say a whole lot of that, especially, and I know, listen, the only reason not to have an SSD drive, especially as your boot drive in 2018, is because I don't want to. That's a perfectly valid reason. I'm not going to judge you for that, but you don't need to come up with excuses. I'm just saying. Because they're wicked cheap. You can get like the Munchkin, the source drives. Yeah. 400 megs read write. You can get 120 gig version of those for under 40 American dollars. So, yeah.
Awesome.
And they don't know. Listen, I bought into the first generation Intel drives and they died. Like firmware updates wiped them. It was brilliant. And they've come a long way, and you're not going to write enough to them to kill them. If I can't, you're probably not, especially as a boot drive, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely.
That is the biggest.
Absolutely.
It makes the biggest difference in terms of like boot times. You go from 20, 30 seconds to 10. And like just regular desktop use, if you're just opening whatever is installed into the SSD, everything is just so much faster. Like, noticeably faster. And if you ever go back to a hard drive after you've had an SSD, it's like, oh, those were the dark ages.
Definitely.
And you definitely have that. Oh, go ahead.
I've even put them in really my old vintage computers, and it makes a huge difference even in that. Yeah, awesome.
You might as well, as cheap as they are these days. I mean, they're definitely a commodity, but I mean, I remember going like, oh, that NVMe can't be that much faster than an SS. Yes, it can. You go from like 6-second boot times. We're talking to desktop ready to go. A couple of things in that article that it's like, okay, check your startups, people. Do that, especially if you're on anything that rhymes with canonical, because they like to throw a gang of stuff in there.
Yes.
Stuff like maybe you're just... cups. There's no reason I should have cups loaded because I have printers, but man, come on, really? 2018? Bluetooth, that gets started up a lot. Just go through your services. There's a lot of stuff in there. I guarantee you're going to find some things that you don't need to worry about. Now, using Fast App and setting your mirrors, that's also recommended. That, not that you've ever been in a situation.
Considerably quicker.
Right.
Yes.
Just delaying the latency between you and the server means all the packages get downloaded considerably faster.
100%. So let's talk about Scandinavian witchcraft.
It's the fox. It's on fire.
Martin Stransky's. This is from his blog, Firefox Hacking in Fedora. All this business, as we say, is going to be in our show notes. You can go check out the links there. This is the Firefox on Wayland update, which I was like, oh, that's neat. They got Firefox working. I was like, okay, I think I kind of knew that was a thing. But now they have WebRTC. There's a patch up and running. And I was like, all right, that's kind of using Pipewire. It's like, you, sir, have my attention. Wayland applications are isolated from the desktop, don't have any access to other windowing, and Pipewire supplies the missing functionality along the browser's sandbox. So this is all tied in. This is not using X11 compatibility. This is straight up Wayland Firefox WebRTC. It's a roundabout way of doing it, but apparently it works, ?
And with Wayland being dedicated to splitting each and every single process from the other, which was something that was kind of needed, and that's one of the reasons that X11 really needed a massive overhaul. They needed something to act as the middle band, or something that they could build into their sandbox to provide this kind of functionality. And WebRTC, it uses a lot of resources. So building Pipewire into the sandbox, the Firefox sandbox,
awesome.
Very good idea. Very good idea indeed. Also, vSync support and high DPI. It's almost like we're living in the future.
Lies. I don't believe it. Pipewire is a very interesting piece of kit, being able to handle not just audio, but video. And I'm excited about stuff like that. I will never try this until I get some decent video drivers or I break down and buy an AMD card. Jill?
Yeah, well, I believe this might be the first consumer implementation of Pipewire on an application for Linux. That's really awesome. It will be the future, replacing Pulse and our video encoding systems and whatnot.
Oh, no, it won't.
Let's see. It's supposed to be.
Right. It very well may have 99% of the market. There's still going to be that person out there who's like, ALSA or die.
Oh, there's a lot of people like that.
People cling on to ALSA, man. I had to let it go because Pulse Audio begrudgingly, admittedly, has gotten good enough. We use Jack for the interface and stuff like that, but I don't recommend Jack because it is a very cantankerous piece of software. So, quick mention, something that made Jill and myself kind of go squee.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a new Power 9 mainboard for Linux desktops. This comes from Reddit. Yeah, they announced the Blackbird, which is a micro ATX Power 9 motherboard. It's not available yet. I did have a look on their website, and they do say it's the perfect companion to the Talos 2 developer machines, which the processor, the low-end processor that goes into that motherboard is $390 something.
Considering its power, that is bargain basement pricing.
Yeah,
it is.
definitely.
It is a quad core. So you're basically paying i7 prices for something that works in the 3 digits of megahertz. But yeah, it's Power 9, so you're still paying that premium, the early Blackbird premium. And yeah, we still need to see how much that motherboard is going to cost because I am curious, but the price will dictate just how curious.
Yeah. This is just, like Venn said earlier, me and him squeed. In May, we had talked about Raptor Computing Systems releasing the Talos 2 Lite workstation for the lowest price you can buy an IBM Power 9 RISC workstation under $15,000. Now, the low-cost and low-powered Power 9 Blackbird Micro ATX motherboard will soon be available. And this is the first implementation of micro ATX motherboard within the server space. All their other motherboards are classic extended ATX server motherboards. So that's unique in and of itself. And this is, as Venn said in the notes, we're hoping that altogether this system might be under $1,000 with the processor and all the bells and whistles.
Pedro, you see what you've done? Do you see what you've done, man?
It's not my fault.
You influenced Jill. You're rubbing off on Jill. She's stealing my content. No, but 100%. Definitely, if you can ship this with a chip for under $1,000.
No RAM, no nothing, just the motherboard and the processor.
There's a big difference between that and 15.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it puts it into the enthusiast budget price.
Definitely.
It's something you can save up for and pick up as opposed to, I'm going to buy a really nice used car.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's the thing. Go ahead.
Oh, well, the only disadvantage to this that was sad is it only supports up to an octa-core Power 9 processor, which I was kind of sad about. But
How much power do you need? That's madness.
Yes.
All right. Google. They had a thing yesterday, and it was pretty cringeworthy. But one thing that I was interested in, because as I like to say, it's Deep Space Nine with tablets in this house. I got tablets everywhere. I like them. Hated them at first. I thought they were stupid till I got one. Then I got a bunch more. They're talking about the Pixel Slate. First look at Google's new tablet. Doesn't run Android. Nope. Chrome OS. And I immediately, basically, kind of, sort of, almost totally lost interest. But what really got me, what really caught me off guard was this critter starts at $5.99.
Yes.
And that's just to walk into the door. That's just going to get you the Slate. How big is this thing? Isn't it like
12.3?
See,
so you're looking about this size.
That's the thing. Now, it's got a resolution of 2000 by 3000. One reason I still cling to my Nexus 10, yes, I was one of the 6 people that bought the Nexus 10. What was it? It was like 530, 550. It was half a grand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it still, to this day, I don't see a lot of tablets, 10-inch tablets coming out with the screen resolution of that thing.
No.
Full 2K. $5.99 to walk in the door. The reason that's kind of an issue with me is I have experienced Chrome OS without a keyboard. It's not a good experience. I didn't have a good time, and neither will you.
Nowadays, it's acceptable.
We're talking like last month, Pedro.
Hey, I have a Chromebook. It's perfectly usable as a tablet.
You got low standards, buddy. $199 for the Google keyboard that's good, that fits, that's like their weird looking one, which is kind of sexy looking, I'm not gonna lie. And $149 for your bog standard one, and the stylus, which might be a thing, that's $99. Another thing that kind of made me go, meh, really, is it's x86 based.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a Chrome Surface. It's Google's entry into the Surface market. It's like, oh, okay, here's like a 12-inch Surface Pro competitor that's it runs Chrome OS, which means it runs all the Android apps and their cats. It has a 3000 by 2000 pixel screen. I like the aspect ratio. The 3:2 aspect ratio looks amazing.
Amazing.
I just don't like the price. $600 for the low end version. Seriously?
Yeah. Although what was nice is in the video on the Verge article, they talked about what a good job of converting Chrome OS from tablet mode to laptop mode when detaching and attaching the keyboard, and that was one of the issues that Venn had brought up about using the keyboard with having to use the keyboard with Chrome OS and then having to use it as a touch interface wasn't that great. So apparently they've done a pretty good job at improving that. And yeah.
I say good on them, and I think I'm probably going to still wait until I don't need a flagship Plex and Netflix player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I waited until that Chromebook dropped to like 200 pounds instead of the 250 it usually goes for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. So who else read this as we're joking?
Yeah. So this is cool, but to be expected. Microsoft is joining Hacktoberfest 2018. And you can submit one pull request to any Microsoft open source project and get a Hacktoberfest shirt. And that's in contrast to the 5 pull requests needed for the other open source projects on GitHub to receive a Hacktoberfest t-shirt that we talked about 2 weeks ago for the Hacktoberfest. So Microsoft's trying to make it a lot easier for, certain reasons. I'm sure to help increase the pull requests and push requests of their projects on the GitHub.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just that picture, open source, and Clippy's in the middle, and it's not on fire.
Yeah.
I guess that's one way of getting those numbers up, because
on further inspection of this image, it's a VS Code. I was like, would you like me to help you? Yeah, okay. I can see Clippy popping up.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that no one's made a plugin for Visual Studio Code with Clippy. But yeah, that's one way of getting the numbers up for this Hacktoberfest, which is the first one that, it's the first one that Microsoft is in possession of GitHub.
Yes.
So I guess throwing a lot of money and a lot of free stuff and a lot of publicity at it, it's a good way to, bring those numbers back up after everyone went to GitLab.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's with this, as much as I dislike Microsoft, I personally can't see anything wrong with this, but you might want to sweeten the pot, man. People are not clamoring to get Microsoft t-shirts.
It's
right?
t-shirts.
I'm
yes.
just saying.
I mean, how about they sweeten the pot with, 60,000 patents?
Yes.
Yeah. They dropped the big one, or at least part of the big one. They dropped 60,000 patents on the Open Invention Network. And basically what the Open Invention Network does is, like, open collaboration, and patent holders have to agree to the, we're not going to go out and aggressively pursue our patents for money. It's basically, you throw your patents in there and say, okay, this is what we did, you can use it. And that is awesome, because up until now, the OIN had about 1,300 patents that they were, that they let their members share. Now they have 61,300. So that's a huge leap. And the big one, of course, is the exFAT one, which people were saying, okay, so how about that exFAT patent and the money that you've been making off of Linux-related projects? Well, one of the people at the Conservancy, and one of the people that helped Samsung get the source code in a open source license for exFAT, has kind of pointed out that, yes, that's great. That's 60,000 patents that they've put on the OIN, but that doesn't include the exFAT one. The exFAT one is not included because of a teeny tiny little loophole, which is it wasn't upstreamed to the Linux kernel. So it's not included in the we will not pursue this for money agreement thing. There's a fly.
That'll teach it. Hey, man, I saw this earlier. I think it was Darkwing, DW, in Discord that pointed this out earlier. I was like, well, I guess it's time to schedule that snowball fight at my place. And yeah, the Android thing, I don't like the Android thing, but you also got to go, really, Google, why did you do something that was patent encumbered in the first place? You got to throw that back to that. 60,000 patents, that's cool. How about, here's the real question. What is it going to take after this show of goodwill from evil Redmond? What more do they have to do to earn our trust and make me wear a Microsoft t-shirt with Clippy that's on fire?
I guess releasing the exFAT thing?
For me, if they would, I would... Trust is a strong word. I wouldn't trust them. If they would just release Oldscape, the client server 4.0, what it was when you purchased it, the one that worked. If you could release that, that would be awesome, because that was a really good piece of kit, and the Silk Codex, neat, and you've just turned it into a pile of poo on everything. So it's not even Linux that's bad now. The Windows and Mac clients have caught up with the Linux client and being equally poo.
Yep.
Aww. Well, of course, and as everyone suspects, this includes most of their patent portfolio, but not Windows and desktop application code, of course.
Yeah.
So,
and it's one of those things.
Typical.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see this happening anytime soon. And now I'm waiting. What exactly is in the other shoe, and when's it going to drop?
Yeah. And again, as we've been talking about almost every week here on LWW, Microsoft is becoming a services company. And its real goal right now is their cloud, is their Azure platform. So they want everyone on using Linux. So it makes sense that they've released a lot of this code. But if, there's still some things that aren't released, that's not good either.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Baby steps, maybe.
Yes.
I mean, this was a huge baby step. Don't get us wrong. This was huge. It's just that people already pointed out, that thing you've been holding over the Linux development community for the longest time and making a ton of money off of.
Well, Android.
Yeah, how about you drop that?
Google, another giant corporation that's soulless.
Yeah, but it's not just Android, it's
Ladies and
also
gentlemen,
Linux.
what you're witnessing right here is somebody not willing to let go of his favorite whipping item.
Yes.
But thanks to you, that's right, all 111 patrons making this show
Awesome.
possible. That is
Woo.
awesome because we get to shout you out every week. Thank you, 100%. And Darkwing, we just talked about earlier. You get 2 mentions because you entered a new realm. Up to pledge to the Death Note level, which is awesome.
Yes.
It's going to get you access to Jill. I know you actually listen to it every now and then. Our production meeting that we do the hour before the show every Saturday in podcast form, because as a patron, you get a custom RSS feed that it's just yours. It's specialized just for you. Is that worth listening to, or you just do it because you're a sadist?
Oh, no. I love it. I love it. And actually for me, because you guys discuss things that are happening on the LGC network that we don't necessarily discuss on LWDW. So it's a lot of fun, and you guys discuss movies and TV, and it's not just a
yeah, that's the meat of that particular content.
No, you're letting them know that we completely go off topic immediately. New series of Doctor Who, so we bring back our temporary whenever we think about doing it series called Game of Who. That's live at 9 p.m. every night. We're going to be bringing in people in Discord. That's another thing that you get access to is our Discord. Come hang out with us, and you can watch me help a room full of school children like I did this morning. This is a true story, and that's going to be out to everything, and you get early access to a gang of stuff, but most importantly, you let us be loud, live, independent, no ads, no commercials. It's kind of brilliant. I want to thank everyone for that. Pedro, schedule. What did we do this week, and what do we have coming up?
Oh, yeah. This week, we did, on Tuesday, yesterday, Orcs Must Die 2. Yeah, it was myself and yourself, Venn. We got together and we shot some orcs and we laid down a bunch of traps. It was a trap! Actually, now that I think of it, we didn't drop a single one of those during the stream, so that was a missed opportunity. Up next, on Thursday, we will have Jordan and The Sandman. Canada Goes to Space in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And on Friday, there will be, apparently, one last Jack before Jackbox 5 drops. And, of course, on Saturday, the big show, Linux Gamecast Weekly. So, yeah, no, you lot give us a work week. That's 5 days where we do something for you, with you. That's awesome.
Come on. We were going to do it anyway. You guys just help finance it so we're able to do it like at a creepy level. So somebody, like a passerby is like, wait, that looks like professional. It's like, no. Nope, not at all. We just got cool tools to do it with. And we... yeah, we're going to keep doing it because we're just getting warmed up with this and having a great time. So, slice pie?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's
a nice towel.
Yes, very nice. I want one. So this is a posh enclosure for your Raspberry Pi. This is the Argon 1 case, which is an aluminum. Excuse me.
Aluminum, yes.
Okay, it's an aluminum alloy case that is sleek looking, has a small footprint, easy access to GPIO, has good heat dissipation, great cable management, and a proper shutdown button. Awesome, woohoo! And it comes with all the bells and whistles akin to its larger computer case brethren of a micro ATX or ATX computer, which is really awesome. So it's about time we've upgraded it in the world for a Raspberry Pi with a proper case. And it's only $20. And what's cool is, to me, all this is missing is the RGB LEDs, which you can case mod later, of course. That's all it needs. That's the final touch.
A, Jill, you're a monster. B, 9 days left on their Kickstarter. I think they're going to get it because they got 36,000 out of a pledged. They needed $5,000 to put this out. Clicky magnets, big selling point. You can play with those and lose them. Yeah. This is
really awesome because The final price, they said that it was going to be $20 or £15 or what have yous. But if you want to back them on Kickstarter right now, you can get it for slightly cheaper than that. So yeah, if you plan to pick one up, might as well.
Look at that! It's even got the proper shutdown switch that you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the shutdown switch just runs a script in Raspbian to turn off the Pi.
I will absolutely be picking one of these up once they're out proper.
Me
Sounds
too.
like a plan. So if you want to get a hold to us, we're going to wrap down, get a little bit of feedback. What can they do, Pedro? Can they just walk outside, yell at cloud, and we'll hear it? Is that how it works?
If you, if they live anywhere near one of us, then yes, that will work. If not, the best way to do it is to go to linuxgamecast.com, hit the contact button, fill out the form. There's nothing to it. Just make sure to pick LWDW from the little choosy box. And of course, Google might ask you to train their bots, as it's off to do. It didn't ask that time. That's the best way to get in touch with us. Of course, if you're a Patreon, you can just drop us a comment on the post on the patrons, and we will be more than happy to feature it right here. Chances are we may be able to see your YouTube comments. Not that we get a lot of them, it's just that the notifications don't really work if someone else happens to click that instead of the button that's right next to it.
Well, here's the real problem, too. Here's the real problem, Jill. Pedro checks them, and even if there's a comment, he doesn't put them in the show notes, and so I don't know they're there until I go back and check.
I actually don't check them. Again, the 2 times that I've clicked that button is because
if you mention Pedro
was
in a
right
YouTube
there.
comment, if you mention Pedro in a YouTube comment, go try it out. It'll be 8 to 12 seconds before you get a reply.
Yeah.
But he doesn't check YouTube comments.
Not that fast.
No, it's definitely a cool thing. Also, if you are working on something made of awesome, you're developing, you got an open source project, or if you know, like your neighbor's friend's cousin's roommate has an open source project, and they'd like to come on the show and tell the world about it, do it.
Yes.
Give us a ring. Use that contact button. Send us some information, and we would like to have a chat with you. So we only got one this week, but it's a long one, and it's from the Sildad.
Indeed, and Sildat says, well, it seems Microsoft is finally seeing the light and feels like becoming a flossed Jedi. Bold claim. Oh wait, it's only MS-DOS 1.25 and 2.0. Ah, it was sarcasm. Thoughts, projections, wishes? Personally, I'd like them to do just the same until Windows 98 SE, at least. Now that would be a good sign. Here it comes of as petty to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree, Sildat. Yes.
Having the source code to Windows 98 SE would see a fork re-release of it by the community.
Yes.
As also, they would they be releasing, since it's the SE version, would they be releasing the source code to that particular version of the NT kernel?
NT kernel, yeah.
I don't know if you could see that. I mean, I think the biggest reason you won't see that is plain and simple. Shame. They don't want anyone to see it.
Yeah.
What you just brought up, though, is very interesting. Yes, that would become it's like everyone would come flying back to retro gaming stations and stuff like that. Would probably see massive improvements, but then you would see stuff people shoehorning newer versions of DirectX, and it would get a little squirrely. I wouldn't plan on that, but DOS is interesting. I thought that was good. You know, again, baby steps. That's something we talked about last week. So
yeah, and I had mentioned last week I'd like to see DOS 6.22 up there because that was the most popular version of DOS, and it lasted. For years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that idea. I like the idea of just, okay, Windows 98, Windows 95, just open source that. They're never going to do that, but just open source that and let the community have at. See what comes out the other side. I would love to see that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bounce out of here, and I just realized that, hey, you know, we were talking before the show. It's like, what did I forget to do? Well, you were saying
credits?
That's right.
The credits.
So we're just going to bring
Cue
in
the
some
music.
And hey, I think the old credits, even from last week.
Ah, okay.
It's a number off,
So
but
this,
it'll do.
this time it'll say Jordan Swang instead of Jill Bryant, like it did on the last Linux Gamecast. So there you go. Got the right ones.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
I hope you learned something.
No one comes here expecting to learn anything.
I did
Aw.
one time.
Yeah.
broke me from
Thank
it.
you. Thank you, Chat Realm. Thank you, producers and our executive producers. We love you.
Absolutely. This show was brought to you because you said, yes, we would like to see an extra show. And
Yeah.
there it is. 139 episodes later.
Yes. Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye, everyone. We love you.
Okay, so hit the stop button. Stop button. All right. Neat.
All right.
So let me save project as... And that'll be a backup to the backup. Cool.
Oh, for a moment there I got a bit scared. I closed Firefox with all the show notes at the exact moment that the music stopped.
Oh, no. Oh,
It's
no.
like, oh god, what did I do?
Huh. All right. That's interesting. So I can use the transport controls on that thing. I have like play, pause, and rewind and record buttons. So I don't have to have that open. Neat.
Aw. Yay, Truggy.
Love Fest. What show were you watching?
I mean, we weren't actively insulting each other. That's Jordan's shtick.
Oh, I was, but it's multi-layered. It's like the Da Vinci Code of insults. I sprinkle them all throughout. All right.
Oh, really? There's still issues with the Broadcom drivers? Oh, that's for OpenWRT. Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I say that. Yeah, I have that Dell 620 leaned up against the couch there. It's yeah, no, it's got one of those stupid Broadcom 8300 series, and yeah, you do need that kernel module, that proprietary kernel module, to get the Wi-Fi's to work. Hot mess that you created there, Broadcom.
That's a messed up state. I mean, having to deal with that in 2018. How old is that thing, though? Like 30 years old? 35 years old?
No.
36?
It's... Let's see. Those came out in 2011. Or 2010. Somewhere around there. Let's see. Dell D620. 2011, yeah. No? There are pictures from earlier. 2006.
I love it when Strider's on a new social media platform. He immediately starts bitching about things.
Yep, March 2006. And it still needs that stupid thing.
Why don't you buy like one of those little stealth USB Wi-Fi dongles?
I have one that's not stealth. But yeah, no, it's... The card is in there. It's like, okay, I'll just make it work. There.
Okay.
Done. Admittedly, it won't be on the internet that much. I bought that for the Catalyst Cisco switch that I have that's currently not being used because there is no space.
There's no space, then how do you have it?
It's in a bag.
Oh, it takes up less space in the bag. Got it.
It takes up space inside the bag.
Regular space. We're talking about bag space. It's like 6-dimensional, man.
Yeah. Don't you have TARDIS bags?
We've established that we only have TARDIS cups.
Yay! Doctor Who music. Yes! Yay! We have TARDIS cups.
Now I need to get one.
Yes.
So,
A lot less, Katana. A lot less.
I don't know, man. I mean, I have the media rack with, geez, 2 24-port, 1 switch, and 1 hub.
Yeah.
They don't take up much space. They take up a rack space.
Yeah, I need space to have, like, the rack next to my desk or somewhere. And I don't.
I see plenty of space on some empty walls behind you, buddy.
Yes, just mount everything on the wall.
If you look at the bottom of them, yes, they have places to mount them on the bottom.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah. I'm just not allowed to drill into these walls.
3M sticky things.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Listen. If you just need solutions, I'm the one to talk
That
to.
could be doable.
I mean, it's always fun when somebody's like, why did you do that? That way. They don't mean it nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Which is mean, because, you know, if you're like, hey, I need to get this thing fixed, you shouldn't complain when somebody fixes your problem.
Just trim it off. Just find something, or just trim off the screwdriver, and just don't let it stick out like that.
Hey man, you gotta leave your mark. You gotta let people know that you were there. That is one lighting control system that will function perfectly as long as the duct tape holds up.
Yep.
Lego Technic?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lego Technic, just regular Lego if you just need, I don't know, a place to hold a motherboard and hold it secure as it's running as a test bed. Yeah, Lego.
I don't know. So I don't understand why people put like kid-safe power plugs and stuff in their house. They'll learn.
I don't think I ever stuck my fingers into a power socket.
I did.
I did hold a live wire for, well, until my legs spazzed out and I fell. That's when I let go of it.
No, this was like Christmas lights or something like that. One of the screw-in sockets was like zzz. I got jolted pretty good.
Not fun.
Yeah,
I
no,
learned.
I touched that and I stayed there touching it because I could not move.
I'm talking about kid stuff. Now, as an adult, have I rendered myself unconscious with electricity? Yes. 100% my fault, though. I mean, there was no one to be angry about that.
Yeah, no, I was like 6.
Let's talk about, like, Tuesday.
Of course, from then on, it seems like whenever there's enough static, I just get a little zap. It's like, zzz. Really?
I used to be very static electricity, but I'm not now.
I don't know, for
Something
some reason
changed.
nowadays I just, oh, there's a little bit of static electricity there. Yeah, there it is.
Jill, do you shock things?
No. I have been shocked pretty bad, though. one was actually at El Camino College.
I told you not to go to Marilyn Manson
Yeah.
concert. You didn't listen to me. Of course you're shy.
No. Yeah, we had very old spotlights, like literally from the 60s, and there was a cut in the cable, and these are high powered, industry standard spots, and I went to plug it in, and it got thrown. Oops, excuse me.
That'll
across
teach
the-
you.
Yeah. And I collapsed. So.
Well, that's a better result than liking it.
Yeah.
You don't want to find out, like, oh, that's my thing. Okay.
You just get
Yeah.
a taser. It's not for protection. You just keep it on your bedside table. It's like, wake up in the morning.
Yeah. Well, with me, instead of stopping my heart, it gave me a really bad attack. So it was not fun.
Was that one of those situations? Yeah. You don't. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up offing myself like an incredibly boring way too.
Oh.
You're just driving and you get sideswiped there.
It's going to be something like that. I mean, reckless self-endangerment's a lifestyle choice. Curiously, like, in here, leaned over the glass desk with one leg on a flimsy ladder, cleaning the fan blades on the ceiling fan. It's like, all right, let me grab a drink. We'll hang out for a few minutes, and we'll bounce out of here. Jill's going to go on a walk.
Yes.
I think she said
need a
walk, not walk.
Yeah.
She's going to buy a really big walk. She's going to sit in it.
I'm ticked off, man. Don't buy a Teflon walk, but if you do,
yeah.
my big walk, it's got a chip in it. And if you have chips in your Teflon,
nasty.
toss it.
Yeah, gotta
Do not
toss
cook
it.
on
That's dangerous. Yeah.
That irritated me.
Poisonous.
Mhm.
We use mostly cast iron in this house. But the Teflon is just really convenient and easy to clean. Arthurian, you got zapped once?
No, apparently you didn't.
Oh, okay. Oh, I wasn't zapped once. Okay.
Yeah, no, I had that big one because my parents' house was being built at the time. And I thought, yeah, everything is off, so it's okay if I touch it. I will never forget that feeling. That feeling that, oh, I just messed up. I just messed up and I can't move.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's really scary. It really is.
Yeah, non-stick cookware is pretty good.
Yeah. That's what, Patrick, that's what Steve and I have now is the new ceramic stuff. But we cook so infrequently here. We don't cook that much. Our oven hasn't worked in the last year. We need it repaired, but it's from the 60s and it has a part in it that it's hard to find a replacement for. but we know a stove guy now that'll fix it for us. We use the stove top though. Yeah, eventually, because we do use the stove. Like this morning we had eggs and an egg omelet.
Yeah, no, I need a working stove, even if it's like an electric stove like that one over there.
Yeah, cool.
It just needs to work. As long as it works and I have at least one head that I can heat things on, that's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Steve husband made me a fried egg sandwich, which I love those. You it's like a scrambled egg, and you put ketchup on the bread, and it's just a wonderful egg sandwich. It's a nice treat. Yeah, scrambled egg.
I've successfully talked myself out of buying a wood stove like 3 times.
Oh, yeah, they're wonderful.
It's like a little too hipster.
I mean, every single album that comes out nowadays comes with an LP, so...
Mm. You mean an egg and a blanket? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, people are still sharing that Linus video on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The Linux gaming tab, you don't even need to scroll. It's like 2 of them. Oh, all right.
Hey man, how else are you supposed to know how to play your Windows games on Linux?
That's the thing. The way Steam is nowadays, you don't need to know. It just works.
Not if Strider has anything to do with it. He wants to make sure you have plenty of extra steps.
Yeah, no, I tried to get the crew working with Lutris. They did not work. So I gave up, moved the files over to the Play on Linux prefix folder, ran wine tricks to set up the XVK. Oh, look, it's working now.
Cool. Hi, Alan.
Yeah. I know they put Wolfenstein on the whitelist, but again, that game reportedly runs pretty bad under Windows.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hadoop?
Mm-hmm.
What fresh hell be that? I know what Hadoop is. I know what
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you have any parties going on tonight, Pedro?
No parties, but I do need to get with the cooking.
Yeah. Oh, what's you making tonight, Pedro?
Meatballs.
Oh, yummy. I love meatballs.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're
Monsters.
already rolled up with teeny tiny little bits of onion in the middle for the extra taste. And then I'm just gonna fry them a little bit, make the sauce, and then let them boil in the sauce to cook up the insides. That's it.
Are you having anything with your bowls of meat?
Spaghetti.
Ah, okay.
That's literally a pan with boiling water, some olive oil, and some salt. Some salt. That's
I
it.
mean, I hope you at least got free-range spaghetti.
Yes, organically grown spaghetti.
Amen.
Aww. My favorite is, I love angel hair pasta with meatballs. I love that.
Pedro, that might catch him off because they don't fall for my free-range aspirin anymore. But I might be able to get somebody to go look for some organically grown spaghetti because that sounds viable enough. Like if you hit them real quick with it. Like,
Yeah, no. It's totally organically grown. It's not a tree, Katana. It's a shrub. It's a spaghetti shrub.
Well, Katana's like hitting the old thing. There was they got some people, man. Spaghetti trees. Go look up the backstory on that.
Oh.
There's a legitimate backstory to spaghetti trees.
Oh, God.
Right?
1957.
That was a real thing. That happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Showing a family in southern Switzerland harvesting spaghetti from the family spaghetti tree.
Okay, I think that's going to do it. Jill, do you have any last words?
No, except maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Watch us play Borderlands. I'm not going to play, but I'm going to keep the Canadians company.
Let's see if we're doing famous
And
last
then-
words. This will never catch on fire.
Yes. And of course, Friday we have the Friday Night Foo Bar, and Saturday's the big show.
I'll be here playing with this
Yeah.
thing. Fighting it. You're going to get a video. I apologize that there's not going to be... It's like, make an interesting general purpose video. This is one of those videos that has to get made.
Yeah,
Because there's that other
definitely.
person that's going to buy one. You're like, you just saved me 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you don't, I would just say that for anyone. If you spend 2 or 3 days getting something set up, piecing together snippets of information from mailing list, and like you're on page 3 in Google looking stuff up. Do the world a favor. I'm not saying it's your responsibility. I'm just saying do the world a solid by like posting it like on a free WordPress blog, or post a YouTube video of like, hey, this is how you do this real quick. Because if you know these steps, it takes 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps people out. So, cool. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. We love you.